what does Jesus say about ghosting people? How do you handle being ghosted? Justice Coleman, how do you handle being ghosted?
Let me see the question.
There you go.
Ghosting. Well, what is ghosting people? Explain what that concept is first.
I think, as far as I'm concerned, ghosting could be when you are in a friendship or a relationship with someone, a conversation, and all of a sudden they disappear. They won't respond. They don't call you back. They basically have disappeared from your life.
You know, I think another angle on this, which my mind went to, is what if somebody was dating somebody and they were either on an app or they were talking to them through technology, and then suddenly they just cut communication and they're not answering them back. And it's like, dude, is this person married? Like, what just happened? You know?
Yeah.
But let's talk about how heartbreaking this is, because whoever submitted this question is probably trying to figure out this rejection that they're feeling.
Sure.
Because they're like, man, like, I thought I had a connection with this person. Maybe it was romantic.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a friend.
Yeah.
Maybe it was somebody at church. Maybe it was a coworker who just started ignoring them out of the way. There's a million reasons why they could be behaving this way. But when you get ghosted, you're in the dark.
Right.
You don't know why someone's acting like that.
Yeah.
You ever felt rejection before, Maria?
100%.
You ever been ghosted?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I have. I can't think of a specific. I've been rejected before. And
is it more of a guy or a girl thing to ghost somebody?
I'm gonna go ahead and say, and I might get some heat for this, but I feel like guys ghost more than girls do. And maybe because I feel like girls like to talk about their feelings a little bit more. And so sometimes the ghosting comes where it's like, dude, I'm out. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to deal with it. But I mean, it's generalizations. I love you guys, but I think that might sometimes. But I think we also live in this culture right now where like canceling people and ghosting people is like, it's permitted and okay. And it's not. It's heartbreaking and it's painful. And, you know, I almost think sometimes people like use the excuse of like, oh, you're not healthy or you're not safe. And so I'm out. Yeah. And I just, whether they're safe or healthy, I feel like even if they're not, you still have to have like a conversation. Yeah, like, for sure. The way of Jesus is love and relationship and forgiveness and grace. And even maybe there are people in your life that, you know, it's better if they're at a distance.
You just brought up my favorite person in the whole world, in the universe, Jesus.
Yeah.
So maybe you're watching this episode for the first time and you just stumbled upon this podcast, and Maria and I are both followers of Jesus, and we actually lead a church. And the truth is we didn't start this podcast just for people that share our worldview. Sure. But you will constantly hear from us. This is how we see the world. So, you know, when I hear about being ghosted, I think about the teaching of Jesus where he says, I think it's in Matthew chapter 5, he says, if you're presenting a sacrifice, or maybe a common day context would be like, you're going to church. Yeah. You're at church. And you remember that somebody has something against you. You need to leave your offering right there and go find that person and reconcile. Yeah, go make it right. And what's interesting about that is that I thought for years was, if you have something against them, you need to take care of that before you get to church. Right. But really what he's saying is, even if they have something against you, you need to take care of it before you get to church. Because church, faith, this is so much not about a religion and so much more about a relationship. Totally. And so God says the way that we show him how much we love him is the way we treat other people. Yeah. So if we are treating people poorly, that's the most, I mean, we have a saying, the most spiritual thing you do is the way you treat people. And so Jesus says, hey, listen, if you are have a friendship and it's going poorly, you cannot just ignore the fact that they hurt you or you hurt them and just go to worship. Come worship me. He's like, go take care of that first. Go take care of that. That's more important to me than the sacrifice, right? Yeah. I want your heart, and to show me that you love me, love the things that I care about, which is people. Yeah. So ghosting would be a way to show somebody you don't care about them. Right. And so if you are being ghosted, they're not being Christ-like. They're not treating you well. There's never really a place. Jesus would not be okay with ghosting. For us to be ghosting somebody, right? Yeah, loving your neighbor is a really big theme in the scriptures and loving people. And so, but a lot of times this is a person who's being ghosted.
Yeah. How do you handle it? So what does Jesus say about it? Jesus says, go take care of things that are not, relationships that are not going well. How do you handle being ghosted? Man, that's hard because the Bible also gives us instruction about how to handle conflict.
Happens to me a lot. Yeah. Really, honestly,
yeah, me too.
I feel like it happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
Like so people just stop talking to me.
So how do you handle it?
Well, part of it is, like I just said, I'm a pastor. And so sometimes people just, our relationship is different because I'm a mentor in their life. And so that can kind of change the dynamic where it's like, maybe that can strain things, right? Maybe they're believing some sort of lie in their head that I'm disappointed at them, or maybe they're involved in some things in their life that they think I would be disapproving of. So suddenly they disappear. And part of that's probably like healthy to have like somebody in your life that you look up to and like they're helping you walk through things, it'd almost be like, let's say that you're on a football team and you have a coach and you're missing practice all the time. Well, you see your coach at the grocery store, you run down the other aisle. You're like, I don't want to run into that guy. So part of it's understandable, but what does the coach really want? He wants to see how you're doing. Oh my God, it's so good to see you, Johnny. I haven't seen you. Man, practice isn't the same without you.
Yeah.
That's what the coach is going to say, but they believe this lie like,
Well, how do you handle it though on like a personal level? Because it's still.
That sucks. I get ghosted all the time, but I don't. The thing is I'll just text them. Hey, I'm thinking about you. I love you. I miss you. I mean, it's only my ego or pride that would keep me from doing that.
Sure.
So I just text them. Hey, I love you. I'm thinking about you. I'm missing you. But also, truthfully, there's a lot of things in life we can't control. Yeah. And when we obsess about the things we can't control, that's going to
consume us.
It's going to take you a deep place. So if they're ghosting you and you've reached out to them and they're still not falling back, at some point you just got to be like,
I got to surrender this to God.
Yeah.
I've done everything I can to reconcile to
let the healing begin.
Yeah.
Because then you're grieving a death.
Yeah.
Versus fighting for something. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just got to grieve.
Yeah.
You just got to get over it.
That's good.